We pulled the ship out of the water for the first time in 7 years and actually got a chance to put a fresh coat of paint on the hull. It's amazing with paint these days, but here's a ship that's been in the water for 7 years and hadn't been pulled out, and we pulled it out, cleaned it off what small amount of algae there was, being such a clean lake. We hardly had to paint it, but we always have to put at least a little bit of a coat on. That's a testament to the fact that not only is this boat in fresh water, but also with the technology of paints these days. And it makes me feel very glad to see that, because being an old vessel like it is, built in 1888, there's no doubt in my mind this boat's going to be around all the way to and beyond 2088. So, although I may not be around, or many of us won't be around, I think the Mount Washington will be. The ship is in the best shape she's been in my years here, and I've been here over 30 years, and we're working harder and harder each year to keep it in that pristine shape. The addition of the new engines last year, a lot of people are wondering how they ran throughout the year. They ran great. Every one of the captains and pilots of this vessel will tell you it's like a dream come true for us. Not having, although the old engines gave us good service for 60 some odd years, these new engines give us the confidence and to know that they're going to be here for many years to come. These Cat engines are also energy efficient, commitment on our part to make sure that we're cleaning up the air around us. And they're also fuel efficient. The price of fuel these days, that makes it real nice in the pocket as well. But at this time, and I meant to also tell you that there are a few other cosmetic things that we did to the vessel, but all of them are to make this vessel better for our service throughout the year. This year we are dedicating the lounge above us. You will see their pictures, and there's a plaque. Although we named it last year the Captain's Lounge, we never had a chance to dedicate it. And it is dedicated to all the captains of this vessel and the Mount Washington side wheeler that have skippered the vessel since 1872. And you'll see a plaque at the entrance of the Captain's Lounge with all the names of anybody who's been a captain in this company. So at this time, what I'd like to do is invite Scott Merrick from Special Assistant to Senator Shaheen's office, who has joined us today and has apparently a letter to read from the Senator. Scott?
Thanks. 140th season of Mount Washington Cruises. I want to congratulate Captain Morash and the entire crew of the Mount Washington Cruises fleet for their continued dedication to one of New Hampshire's greatest traditions. Throughout my time as governor and now as U.S. Senator, I've been privileged to spend time aboard the Mount Washington with my good friend, Captain Jim Morash. Having hosted thousands of passengers in numerous events, the MS Mount Washington has been a fixture of the Lakes region and New Hampshire since the mid-1800s. With Lake Winnipesaukee and the surrounding White Mountains offering some of the most beautiful landscapes in New Hampshire, a trip aboard the MS Mount provides the perfect viewpoint to enjoy the state we call home. I was proud to support the Recovery Act funding to make important upgrades to the MS Mount Washington's engines. These upgrades will continue to provide a more environmentally sustainable and enjoyable experience for years to come. Congratulations once again on beginning your 140th season. I look forward to many more trips aboard the MS Mount Washington. Sincerely, Gene Shaheen, United States Senator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. I also want to add that Senator Gregg, in his tenure, was also a supporter of us getting the grant for the new engines last year. So it was certainly a bipartisan effort in this state, not only from Senator Shaheen, but also Senator Gregg at the time. And he has expressed the same interest and love for this vessel over the years, all the way back from when he was governor as well. But we thank the Senator for her kind words, and we hope to have her aboard this year. Also, Governor Lynch expressed his regrets couldn't make it today. Obviously, in light of what happened last night, a great thing for this country. And absolutely. It certainly makes it a great day for us to cruise too. But he had some meetings this morning to deal with security and issues. But he will join us sometime this summer, I am sure. He loves the vessels. But at this time, I'd like to present Dave Barrett. He is the Director of Safety for Marine Division, a good friend for many years, and I keep telling him, he keeps threatening to retire on me, but I keep telling him he can't retire until I retire, and that's going to be a while, Dave, so I'm going to tell you you're going to be around here. So, Dave.
Thank you, Jim. As most of you likely know, this is a commercially registered vessel, and each year it falls to us and the Fire Marshal's office, Fire Marshal Technic, to inspect the vessel and ensure it's seaworthy. And then during, of course, the annual shakedown cruise, it's our pleasure typically to award the registration for the ensuing year. I've been at this now about 20 years. And I want to tell you, my observation of the way this vessel is operated and the love and the affection that the folks who work for the steamship company have for this vessel is evident every year. Our folks tell me routinely that it's a masterpiece, and I believe that to be true. It's an interesting phenomenon. When I started 20 years ago, some of the people who work here for Jim and the other owners were new, and you watch an evolution, an affinity, a bond that takes place between those employees and the vessel. She becomes a real person at that point. And if you don't think that's true, you can see Harry over here, who's retired as a captain, and he's always here. There's a connection that gets made, and that manifests as we inspect the vessel and we look at it. It's very evident every year. And as a partner on Lake Winnipesaukee, Jim Morash and the rest of his crew and the owners couldn't be better. And with that, I'd like to present you with your registration and validation stickers for the 2011 boating year. And with those, once you place them on the vessel, I guarantee you won't get spelled.
Thanks, Dave. I know we go faster, but I don't think we quite break the limit yet. And now from the Department of Safety and Fire Services, our State Fire Marshal, Bill David.
Director Barrett, you're a tough act to follow. I do want to say a few things in regard to, thank you. They made it in tall sizes here as well. We have a few people on board that I'd just like to recognize, and we have the chairman of the Board of Fire Control, Richard Heath. Thank you, Richard, for joining us today. And we have a former person that came with us for many years, Norm St. Hilaire from the Department of Safety, who's now retired. Thank you, One of the things that I'm very proud to be able to do here is to present the certificate for their place of assembly permit to the vessel and to the people who work on this vessel, because they are what make it what it is. They are the ones that make it safe and good for all of our families to be on and enjoy the summer season out here on this vessel. I do want to say that you lead by example here in the Lakes region, and hopefully, your example leads to fire safety across the state, because what you do here is what we'd like to see in every place of assembly throughout the state. It's definitely a safe place to be, and we're proud to be part of the organization that helps you get there to make sure that everything's in order. But without the staff doing the work that they do with the planning and all of the work, it wouldn't be the way that it is. And I think most of the fire chiefs and fire officials from around the Lakes region that have joined us here today would also be saying the same. Jim, here's your...
Gentlemen, thank you. And although I'm the only one standing up here to accept these, I accept them on behalf of my partners, and I believe there are two of them aboard, Ingen Gardner and Chris Secord. If you're out there, give a wave. There's Chris. And more importantly, I accept these with deep gratitude on behalf of the job that was done by our crew this past winter, and especially the past couple of weeks, as it always seems they can turn this boat over and to make it as presentable as it is today. They do a fantastic job, and we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't not only the commitments of excellence from the owners, but because of the crew that we have had over the years that have a love for this ship and the stewardship of the ship. And as long as I'm around, we're going to continue to keep that going on forward and forward and forward. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Members of the press, if you have any questions, feel free to answer them right after, but I'm sure the rest of the public probably want to get out into the weather before we get back to Center Harbor. So thanks everybody. Somebody had a question. Go ahead.
How did you get the ship out of the water?
Well, we have a marine railway. When we get back to Center Harbor, as we're coming in, you look to the right of the building, and there was a marine railway totally unique for this ship. It was built for the ship back in the 1950s. I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people in the Eastern Seaboard that wish they had the system we have.
It must have been something to see.
It was. It is. Oh.
And you
It took 7.5 years to build it, and we had it 7.5 years on the lake. So we had fun for 15 years.
And you drove it around the lake yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. How many people can it hold?
10.
10.
Yes. And 220 11-inch passengers.
Wow.
Yeah. They're you know.
What year did you build it?
Oh dear. Let's see, what year did we build it? Going back 15 years.
15 years ago?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What was your name?
Jack Miller.
Jack Miller. Are you from Wolfboro?
I am.
Yeah, I remember seeing it over there.
Yeah. We live across the street from the town hall.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to see that around on the lake. It's so interesting to see it.
Yeah, well, it's fun, and they do a wonderful job with it. This boat is just such a pleasure to ride. It's smoothest and nice and really great. And for years, while we were building the Little Amount, we used to run over there with a tape measure every day when they came into the town dock, and they graciously gave me an extra, so I could.
So you could measure it. So it's
pretty.
It's to scale.
Yeah, it's all to scale, and they gave us all the blueprints to make it with. Yeah, so it was wonderful.
Wow, quite a project.
Yeah, it was. We had such fun.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Is this your wife?
Yes, this is Allison.
This is his wife. What's your name?
Allison.
And did you help out in the project of the Mini Winnie?
Sure.
Yeah.
I wrote the checks.
You wrote the checks.
There you go. That's right.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Well-
I helped him when he needed me.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to let us interview. It's very interesting.
Well, our pleasure.
Thank you. We're king of the world!
You don't have the flat Fritz, you have the fat Fritz.
We have the real Fritz Weatherby. I hope I win the contest. Isn't it a contest of...
Sound off on stories now grown cold. These lies that permeate these days. We live in pain, my impression is to fall in love too late. us now.